Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, Sam Dennehy, aka Halfass Customs. Today's special guest, another one of my car club model car club buddies. You saw him in the last group interview. His name is Doug Knobens. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. We'll find out here pretty soon, though. Really cool guy, modeler, and a car apostrophe. I can't even say it. He does interiors in cars, upholstery. That's the word. He's an upholsterist, or an upholsterer. I don't know how you want to pronounce it or how you want to say it, but he puts interiors in real cars and some pretty trick stuff. So how cool is that? You can get the model cars, you can get the real cars, and he's just an all-around car guy. So it's the best of both worlds. I'll have a link to all his information in the description below. And yeah, without further ado, let's see what Doug's all about and what he's got going on. Be right back. So I just realized it's not Knobens, it's Knobens. Doug Knobens is who we're having on tonight. So I just wanted to make that correction. I'm horrible with names. Why would I have got this one right? So be right back. Hey, everybody out there, YouTube analyst Sam Dennehy, aka Halfass Customs, and this is Halfass Presents, the podcast. Today's special guest, like I said in the intro, Doug. Doug, I pronounced your name wrong the first time I did this intro, and then I had to redo it. So it's
everyone fucks it up. It's Knobens.
Knobens.
Yeah,
see, that's the third time now because I redid the intro. Then I already messed it up for the third time.
Seriously, I've heard everything my whole fucking life, man. No one can get that shit right. I'm actually really surprised when people do. It's nuts.
Nobody gets my last name right either, so I don't. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
So Doug, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got in this hobby?
I've always been a car guy. Always been into tinkering on cars, building cars, working on cars, doing all that kind of stuff, and I guess models just kind of fell into it. I always like customizing things, and so models are a nice, inexpensive way when you're younger to work out those frustrations or work out those ideas you had in your head of what you want it to look like or would it work and that kind of shit. So it's nice to be able to practice on little things,
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you remember back in the 90s, kits were like $7?
Yeah, no, for real.
Best days ever.
It was crazy. Yeah, no, and Revell had like a lot of I guess it was in the 90s when they had all those crazy the 59 convertible, and where it's
like it just came out then or something.
Yeah,
or they took the promo kit and remastered it to be a 3+ kit.
Yeah, exactly. That shit was dope.
But that's awesome.
So that's pretty much how I got into it. Just fucking around, like I said, practicing. Had ideas. Well, how can I do patterns? I remember doing my first ghost patterns on a 58. It was a Revell 58, the one that came with the doors already opened.
Yeah.
And I remember doing just the roof. And I did the most I remember I just picked out random shit colors. I think I did the roof itself a silver, but then and they're just the shittiest, most basic fucking patterns. It was just two squares overlapping each other or something stupid. You know what I mean? And
that's awesome.
Basically, but it was one was green and one was yellow. And then I remember I'd get that fucking it was all rattle can shit. And so, I wasn't even decanting or using airbrush at all. It was just straight fucking rattle can the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck.
I still use rattle can all day, every day.
Yeah. And well, I mean, the difference is now we and this is, we've learned to wet sand and gets rid of some of the orange peel unless you get some good shit. We learned the tricks like heating the can, warm the can up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That kind of shit. So you learn those tricks, and so you're you know, your rattle cans come out okay, but I remember doing that roof. It was like I had a candy like the fucking transparent red candy apple red
Mhm.
from like Testers,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the whole car was like it was that red. But then I would do like a coat of the candy, and then I had some janky ass spray glitter, and I would spray glitter on it, and then wait for that to dry, and then I would throw more candy on top of that,
Yeah.
and then another coat of fucking glitter, spray glitter shit, you
Damn.
know, for my metal plate. And so, but no, but then, you know, it was that when it came out, and then you're just like, holy fuck, like this thing, you know, it's like sandpaper because all the big ass flakes and shit, you know what I mean? And
Oh yeah.
then you're like, well, shit, this is what I got to do. So, you know, that's how you learn out of necessity to wet sand and shit. Yeah, but it was cool though, because I actually did, like back then, I was, for whatever reason, I mean, this was like 90s. I've seen other people doing it. And so I would try to brush murals, like paint with a brush and shit, like do that
Oh.
kind of stuff. And so, like, on that 58, the fender, I think I still have the fender skirts, like in a box or something. But the fender skirts were, they were like a silver base, but then I took black, and then I did like like a cemetery, like tombstones and shit.
Oh,
And then
that's
I put,
awesome.
and then I could put like a dark gray, like streaks of it, like in the top, you know, for clouds. And then there was like one where I did white, and I put white on there. And then I covered the whole thing in candy, so you would see them. And the candy really helped because it was such a shit fucking paint job with a brush and shit. It looked like a fucking right-handed monkey with Down syndrome tried it with his left hand. You know what I mean? Like, fucking did this shit and it came out terrible, but the candy helped, you know, it hid a
Well,
lot
hey
of those
man, at least you
impressions.
tried it too.
Yeah,
There's no way I'd ever try that. Ever.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
today I won't try it. I'll just print out a decal for myself and make it
yeah,
work that way.
yeah, yeah. That was a long time ago. Fuck, those are old builds. I think it's funny when I find that shit too, because I'm just like, holy shit. Because I remember like making, like I used to make my and it's still a trick that I use today when I do my like lowrider interiors and a model like in scale for the bucket swivel front seats. I
Yeah.
make them swivel. So they actually swivel by, I would go to like a thrift store and find fucking baby onesies, like little ass baby onesies, and then cut the snaps off them, and then use the snaps where you glue
Oh,
one side
nice.
down, and then you glue the other side to the seat, and it actually lifts the seat up just like the perfect height, and it swivels.
Dude, that's awesome actually. I never even
Yeah,
thought of that.
yeah. No, like back in the day, like if you look through my old Landlow, is like Cynical's build thread, and like in the old, like way like years ago, I mean, because I had taken pictures of like some of the, like, because I would always experiment with weird shit like that, like how could I do this, or like how, like I would
Right,
do
right.
like I would do like I would, like on the seat, I remember like cutting like a wedge out of it, and then I used foil, bare metal foil, and foiled the whole thing, and then very gently like cut a slit where I had gouged it out earlier, and then peeled it back. But it was painted, so it looked like the fabric, and then the inside was yellow and shit, so it looked like the fabric was torn on the seat, and the
Oh,
foam was chewed up underneath. You know what I mean?
that's cool.
Like just weird
Dude,
shit like
that's
that.
pretty
Like, yeah,
inventive.
yeah. I used to always try. I used to go nuts on that shit. I used to go crazy on the details.
So I'm on your Instagram page. I got a picture of that Pontiac or that Chevy, whatever it is. I don't know if you guys can see
Oh,
this, but this is the
that's Kingo's.
interior.
That's for Tingo's. That was for his 1-to-1 39 Chevy.
Oh, okay. This is the swivel seats he's talking about, everybody. If you don't know, most of the 125th scale guys will know, but for any other scale guys that don't know, lowrider interiors a lot of times have swivel seats. That's his car, huh? I didn't know he had a real car.
Oh, that dude's got a harem of fucking nice cars, dude.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I'm not trying to speak on his business. I'm just saying he's got like, I'm, you know, I'm very, that dude is just overwhelmed, like with blessings. Like like, I am so jealous. I mean, not jealous in like a mad way. No, I'm fucking happy for him because he's a really great guy. He deserves that shit.
Yeah, no, he's cool.
Yeah, no,
I
he's one
only
of the
was
coolest guys
able
I've
to
ever
get
met in this
one.
fucking hobby.
Yeah, I
No,
was only
everything
able
he
to
has
get
is
one
well
interior
deserved,
from
but
him.
yeah, yeah, everything he
I
has is well
cherish that
deserved.
thing.
But no, I think he's got a few nice old cars, like old
Oh no,
classic.
I knew he had what, a 54, 53 Bel Air, the
He had
orange one.
54, like the
I
orange.
knew
Yeah, he
he
had the
had
orange
that.
one.
Yeah, that was the only
He's got
car I
that.
thought he had.
He sold that 39, the one that I did the interior for. He sold that one.
Yeah,
But he
and I'm
also
looking
has, I
at.
think he picked up like I don't know if he even still has these. I haven't asked him in a while, but I know he had like a 47 or a 48 Fleet Line. He also has
Oh,
59 hardtop, um,
what?
and an old like Dodge, like a DeSoto or something, or a Buick. I think it's an old Buick, like a 54, 53 Buick or something.
Oh,
But no,
perfect. Oh,
they're all
you're.
titties. Like they're all titties. They're all beautiful cars. Like they're gorgeous
That's
cars.
awesome.
Yeah. No, he works his ass off though. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
he
I'm
does a
looking
lot.
at much bigger pictures of that interior for that 39. And damn, you did the whole interior?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap, man. That thing's art. So, well, just to show you guys, in case you can't don't know, I mean, that thing is crazy. Now, grant you, it's all lowrider style, so all the stockness that was in it is gone. But dude, this is artwork.
So that
This
the back seat had to be really high like that. I had to make all the seats and I made all the interior pieces. But the back seat had to be tall like that because
oh
he
shoot, that is
C-notched
tall.
and tubbed the rear end.
Oh, to make it sit lower. No
Yeah.
kidding.
So it laid frame all the way around.
Jeez. You know, if you didn't say that, I would have never even noticed that.
Yeah, no, it's pretty weird. Yeah, and I
That's
followed
wild.
I based everything off the design, like basically like the center console and all that. As soon as we picked out the seats, the front seats, because those were out of like a boat. Um,
Okay.
yeah, look at me, I'm old, like putting my face in the fucking camera. Um, but
You're
no, so
trying to
those
see the pictures. It's all good.
yeah. No, the those seats came out of a boat and so, like plastic seats or whatever. And so once they decide, I told him, I said, you know, whatever seat that you want, I'm gonna, I'm gonna use the armrest style. That's gonna carry
Hmm.
over into the rest of the car, like the center console and shit like that. So they're all flat. Like that's why that weird hump by the back. It matches the
Yeah, yeah.
contour of the yeah. Same thing with the sides too. The sides, the two back armrests and the two sides, you can't really see them, but
I understand it. So, being a lowrider guy my whole life, I get it.
yeah.
Um, that's
Yeah, it
awesome.
was fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun.
I bet it was a lot of work. I can't even imagine. What do they call those seats? Pinhole seats? Or what do you call that design where you stick the buttons in it? Or button seats?
Button tuft,
You
yeah.
know,
Those are
button.
biscuits. Those are biscuits. I mean, the idea, just the technique of using buttons is the button tuft, but the orientation of the buttons, whatever it leaves, that's depends on whether it's a diamond tuck or a biscuit tuck.
Dude, there's more biscuit tuck in that whole entire car than there is anything else. Well, maybe the individual mirrors, but
Yeah,
there's got to be just as
those
many
are yeah.
mirrors as there is buttons.
All those mirrors were all hand cut and all that.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it was very time consuming.
So,
And the
ballpark
headliner too.
figure.
I haven't seen any pictures. Like there's pictures of the headliner in there too somewhere. The headliner is just as crazy.
Yeah, ballpark figure without having to give me an exact price, because obviously, I mean, you don't want to give
When
away your secrets.
when people ask me about a lowrider interior like that, like button tuck interior,
Yeah,
I usually tell them that generally you start out at like at 10.
no kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's starting out. Same thing with like a full leather interior. I mean, you're going to be like if it's and I'm talking about custom. I'm not talking about just redoing whatever you have in your car from vinyl to leather. I'm talking about like doing a full custom leather interior. You start around 10 on those too.
That's wild. I mean, it's not unheard of, I guess. I mean, getting all that you're getting a one-off interior that nobody else in the world will have.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I
And
mean, and it's specialty to that car.
I mean, I've been doing this for 20, 23 years, 24 years, I think now.
Wow.
It's in that time I've done cars for Barrett Jackson, stuff like that. I've done, I've done some pretty fucking crazy cars. Yeah.
That's neat to have that in your portfolio, though. I mean, it gives you the genre of so many different eras and so many different styles that they can look at your page and just be like, well, I know he can do it because he's already done it once. So he knows he has the skills.
Actually, this right here is for well, not that's my sewing seat, but this right here is for SEMA. The guy was hoping to have this done, but the painter I don't think is going to get that. I'm doing a full interior on that. It's a 69 Lincoln Continental.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. No, I'm going to do the seat like it'll be leather tuck and roll on the, like in the face or whatever, like this. This part will be like like leather tuck and roll with the teal going up, and then the centerpiece right there is so basically, I don't know if you can see it, but it's gonna fit. This is gonna go like this, the face, and then this is gonna be all button tuck, like an old school fabric.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I'm going to do the whole interior and that. And then, he was saying he wanted it ready for SEMA, but that painter, that car has been on the books for SEMA for 3 years.
Oh, geez.
Because the painter.
Wow.
3 years ago, that dude contacted me and he was like, do you think, it was like September. And he was, September. No, it was August. He got a hold of me in August 3 years ago, and he says, hey, do you think you could do a full custom leather interior, by SEMA, which is in October?
Yeah.
And I was like, I said, it's going to cost you like, to jump you ahead like that. And, this is back then at 3 years ago, I didn't have like the kind of business. I wasn't staying as busy as I was now. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I could do it. I could move some things around. It was little stuff, and he was like, yeah, man, the painter says it'll be ready and this and that. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I called the painter. I'm like, yeah, this dude says you're going to have this thing ready. It's going to SEMA. And that painter's like, no, he's not going to SEMA.
Not this year. Like, maybe not next year.
Really? And he goes, yeah, no way. He goes, I'm not even done with body work yet. He goes, no, I'm not. I was like, oh, okay. Well, the owner's pretty fucking convinced that he's going this year. And he goes, I don't know why he thinks that. He goes, I didn't tell him that. It's just like, holy shit, all right. And then,
well, glad their communications are up to par.
Yeah, and as upholstery, I'm the last guy you want to see.
Yeah, I mean, the body, the paint, the suspension, the whole working.
Get everything done. I'm the last fucking guy to see. And so I was telling him, like, okay, well, if that paint's not going to be done, like, if you guys aren't going to be done, like, I'm going to put you on the back burner. You call me when your paint job's done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they were like, okay. And then they called me up like probably 6-7 months ago. The owner called me up and he was like, yo, so it should be ready for paint pretty soon. And I are done with paint. And I was like, all right, well, I said, I got an opening January 10th. I said, I could put you for January 10th. And they said, okay. And the January 10th came along. I didn't hear nothing else from them. So I pulled their seat out of storage. I started working on their design and all that and started working on it. And then I called him up and I'm like, hey man, your appointment started yesterday. Is the car done from paint? Is it good? And he was like, hold on, let me call you back. And then the fucking painter calls me. And the painter, I've kind of like, when I met him the first time, we kind of had a bit of creative differences, like a difference of opinion on some things. And he didn't really like our conversation too much.
Oh, geez.
And so he called me up, he calls me up and he's like, so are you, like, first thing he says, like, are you nervous? And I'm like, what? Like, the fuck am I not? What? No, I'm not fucking nervous. Are you nervous? And he was
Right.
like, no, are you nervous that I'm not going to have the car ready for you on time? And I go, well, the appointment was started 3 days ago. You already not making it's already not
Yeah.
on time. It's already not ready for me. You know, and I was like, what all do you have to do? He goes, I still have to paint the sides and like the whole bottom half of the car. And I have to
Oh my
do
gosh.
the dash and the rear package tray and shit. And I was like, yo, well, then I said, I'll tell you what, this was early January. I was like, so my next opening is May. Like I can get you in, I get you in May. Like that's like early May. And there he was just like, well, yeah, I mean, do you need the car done? I was like, dude, yes, I need the car completely done. Like, I'm not going to do a full interior, then have it sit at your shop while everyone's fucking working on it, spraying paint and shit. Like, no, like,
Right.
yeah, no, that's just a dumb way to do it anyway. It's too much
Yeah.
risk. Leave it as is.
Oh,
And
way
so,
too much.
yeah. And so, yeah, no, so I was just like, yeah, do you think is May good for you? And he was just like, oh yeah, I should be mostly done by then. And I'm like, well, you have to be.
Mostly.
I'm like, what a part are you not fucking getting that you have to be done? Like, why is it taking this long anyway? Why is it? It's
Yeah.
3 years. It's fucking over 3 years now. Like,
I mean, he's
what?
not doing the most elaborate paint job man's ever done in his life. I can
It's pretty
guarantee he's not doing
I
that.
will give him this. It's pretty dope, but it's. I mean, what's crazy is the paint lights up.
Oh, he's
So
doing one of those.
but it's in patterns. So there's
Oh,
patterns in it. So some of the patterns light up.
I've never done a paint job like that, obviously, so I don't know how much it takes to, what all is involved in that. But I mean,
I don't
shoot, it
I
better
don't
look good
understand.
when he's done.
Yeah, I don't understand what the issue is. I really don't. That's why I'm just like, holy fuck. Yeah. No, the
He's got
conversation
to
I
be
had with that
doing
dude.
multiple things at once.
Yeah. No, or he's just yeah, like not at once. Just
Working 1 day a week.
or he'll come in and just take in all new work and then just
Right.
collect money on big old jobs like that periodically and just take in new work. Like I don't do it like that. Like I set my schedule. If you you put down a deposit, half down, half on completion, and then your deposit gets you on the calendar for the next available day, and that's your time. Then I say,
Yeah, right.
well, it'll take for like say if we're doing a seat, I'll say 3 days on the seat, and that is now scheduled for 3 days on my calendar. I
Right,
don't
yeah.
go on. I don't fucking. It's rare that I break deadlines. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, that's good business right there. I
Yeah.
mean, you're a
I mean,
man
it
of
sucks
your
that people
word
have to
and you
wait
do
so
what you're
goddamn
supposed to
long.
do.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
But,
I build
yeah.
these little tiny Ghostbusters cars that I showed you.
Well, yeah.
To get the LED lights in it, I have to send that off to a company that installs them because I can't do that.
Oh, for
And
real.
their waiting time is anywhere from 6 months to 9 months.
Mm.
So, the customers are thinking, oh, well, you build these cars so quick,
Yeah.
a few days.
Yeah.
Where's my car? Where's all this money I sent you? And I'm like, hey, I told you where it was going. I told you how long it could possibly take. It's out of my hands. I just have to wait on them.
Yeah. 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 That's so how do they do it? Do they just drill out like they use little tiny ass drill bits or something?
Yeah, so it's like micro drill bits in a sense
Yeah.
because the Ghostbusters car, if anybody's aware, they have 4 spotlights in front of the light bar. So 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and then a spotlight right there next to the driver's side window.
Yeah.
And those all have LEDs. And if you think about a car this big,
Yeah.
the spotlights are the size of the end of a pin.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I can't drill that out. I don't have those skills. I don't have the tool to hold that little spotlight, even to drill a hole in it to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how they do it, but
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
how they do it as long as they do it.
Oh, the spotlight is something that they add entirely.
No, well, no. So there's a separate company for those like cop cars that sell accessory sets like light bars, clear light bars,
Okay.
and different color
Okay.
light bars and spotlights for
Yeah. Yeah.
like a police car. Well, I
Okay, so
take that same kit and add it to the Ghostbusters car because
gotcha.
the car itself is a 3D print and it doesn't come
Oh,
with the
I see.
spotlights.
Yeah,
And
I
then the
see.
light bars that it does come with is just a solid print of 3D
Yeah,
filament.
so you got to
So
cut
you
that off
couldn't.
and then put in an actual light bar and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
correct. So, I mean, it takes them as long as it takes them, and they knock it out of the park every time. So
yeah,
I'm never in complaints of how long it's taking them to do something
yeah, yeah,
because they're
yeah,
doing something that 99% of the world can't do. So
yeah,
I say go for it. Take as
yeah,
long as you need.
yeah, fucking A.
And then I had them do a Ghostbusters 2 car that's got twice as many lights on it
Oh, okay.
as the first car
Yeah, yeah,
does.
yeah.
They knocked that out of the park.
So
Unbelievable. There's
Ghostbusters
over
2.
40 individual LEDs in a car this size,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
and
that's
it's
fucking
amazing.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome though.
right. So
Yeah.
just like you're saying that, you know, you're waiting on other people to finish their stuff to make sure your deadline's right. That's kind of the same deal that I'm working with because
Yeah,
I'm waiting on other people to get it done as well.
yeah, I hear you.
But hey, it is what it is. This business.
Yeah. No, I mean it sucks, but I mean when I like so if I got like a big job coming in where I'm gonna do a full interior, that's I usually tell people that's 6 to 8 weeks, for that's from headliner to carpet, that's everything. And
Wow,
that's you know, and but
that's
in
not
between
bad.
that time, what's that?
That's not bad.
No, it's not terrible. I mean, for a one-man shop, when it
Right.
was for years, it was just me and my mentor, just me and him. And me and him would do full custom interiors in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
That's
like both of us.
crazy.
Yeah, because like say he would be working on the seats while I'm working on the door panels. And then I would be installing the door panels while he was doing the headliner. And then I'll throw in the carpet while he was working on the trunk, and then put the seats in. Like it just working as a team like that, you know.
I watch most of the TV show car shows that are on TV,
Yeah.
like Iron Restoration and all that other stuff. And you always see them and hear them talking about, oh, we're going to do this with the interior and this is how we're doing it. And they show just a little tiny bit of that interior being made and put in. And it never gives you an idea whatsoever how long it actually takes to build that.
It's a lot of
And
work.
I would have honestly thought it would have took much longer, but even from what you're saying isn't very long at all. I
Well,
mean, in
I mean, things like,
consideration of a full interior.
but I'm talking about like, we're talking about just doing like a mildly custom, I'll do like custom door panels or something, but not like lowrider stuff. Like
But
lowrider
I
stuff
mean,
is, yeah,
just the mild stuff seems like I mean, if you're gonna put a
yeah,
different, carpet in and different seats and different, door panels and kick panels and whatever. I mean,
yeah.
just sewing all that up and finding the right design and pattern and all that stuff seems daunting to me.
Well, if you, it's the way I do it because it does. I remember like when I first started, and I remember the first car I did like a full interior, and it was overwhelming because I'm
Yeah,
looking at everything and I'm like, fuck, everything has to go together in a certain order for it all to
yeah,
work.
right, right.
Everything has to, my mentor, and even though I had done plenty of them before he turned me loose on this, I've done a headliner, I've done the door panels, I've done the seats, I've done the carpet, not all of it all at once or all in the same car, but I've done the, you know what I mean? So when it came time, it's like, you do it. It's like the old saying with you ever hear that one with the people in the rice paddy when they're sitting there picking rice paddy and they're looking down, like if you look around at the whole fucking rice paddy, because they only do like 1 square foot at a time, and they're planning those. And so if
Oh,
you,
do they?
yeah, they'll
I don't
jot down
know.
like an outline, like a box outline, and then but if you look around, you're going to be over fucking whelmed by how much you're going to have to do. But if you just keep your concentration just on that box
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
do that box and then move to the next box and then do that, you know what I mean? Move to the next section and focus on that. Don't look at the whole thing. If I set like on my schedule for something like that, like I'll do like in a week, like I'll do one day would be, I have to have the door for like all the panels, like door panels and interior kick panels, rear quarter panels. I have to have all those made. on Monday and Tuesday. I have to have those all completely fitted and done and ready to be upholstered by Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I need to make sure that the headline first, and see, you just break stuff down into like days. And then you're like, okay, this is what I need to get this done today. I need to get this headliner done, or I need to get this seat rebuilt. I need to get the frame repainted, you know what I mean? And re-burlapped, refoamed, all that, by the end of the day.
Like watching a lot of these shows, and you, like, for instance, West Coast Customs did it a lot. They show their woodworker creating the pattern or the design of the door and the indents and the bumps and the grooves and stuff with these wood things. Do you have a wood machine too to do that?
I use no wood products ever, because wood rots, it swells, you know what I mean? I use all ABS.
Oh, okay.
I use all ABS in everything I do. I don't use any kind of wood product. Rarely. Like if I rarely do. Like, so no, I'll do all that stuff with like ABS and stuff. And if I have to do something with wood, like, like you're talking about like a router, like doing, you know what I mean? Where you use a router to do the edges and stuff. I mean, when I first started doing upholstery, me and my mentor would do it like that. But then we realized, like, also too, like I've never cared for it. I mean, like there's like R&R or something like that, where they're doing a lot of the lowrider, like the Impalas, and basically they're doing light setups like in the doors and stuff.
Right.
They're doing like a shadow. They're doing like a shadow thing and all that. And I'm not saying, like, their work looks good. Like, don't get me wrong. It looks like they do good work. But that being said, I've never understood like having something like solid. Like it's basically, it's like all you did is wrap it in vinyl or leather. Like there's no padding to it. There's no nothing. There's the interior. Like it should be, even if it's not going to be like crazy plush, even if it's just plain like sculpted leather stuff, you still want it to have like a little bit of cushion, like not just even like door panels. You want those like backed with like 1/4-inch foam or something, just to give them a softer look to it. But with something like just sculpted like that, it just seems too, it doesn't seem organic, like, to me.
I almost watch those shows, well, when they do that, those parts of the episode, and I think, if you just literally did what you said, just wrap leather on top of that wood, that would be so uncomfortable. Does it look good? It looks great. Is it functional? It's probably more for show.
Point. I mean, that's my point. I mean, you might as well just paint it.
Yeah.
Like have painted pieces. Like, I mean, what is it? What are you doing to wrap it? I mean, trying to make it look like it's upholstered. I mean, just because it's wrapped in material, is that upholstery?
I mean, some of these lowrider interiors, like the ones that are half plexiglass and carbon fiber, and
carbon fiber.
Crazy plasticky looking fake interiors matched with a leather, seat or whatever, and it doesn't look practical at all. And I mean, it looks like a straight show car that you would never drive.
Yeah, it looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, and
it looks uncomfortable.
I love a show car, don't get me wrong, but I would also love to drive it more than I would trailer it and just put it up on a jack stand and have it twirl.
I would never, I don't know. I wouldn't. So I remember a while back, because I built this a long time ago, that bike, like back in like the 90s, whatever. And a buddy of mine, one of my clients, was with Legion's bike club. And he saw that bike and he would always talk about it. He would be like, well, you need to get you in the club and build you a bike. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And he was just like, what? Why not? He goes, well, I'll help you build it. And I'm like, yeah, but I'll ride it. And he was like, well, no, he goes, well, no, like, I mean, you can't, I mean, you can ride it, but I mean, it's still, we got to, and I was like, no, I would ride that like all over the place. Like I said, if I'm going to build it, like if I was going to build a bike, like if I was in a club where that's so nice, like bike of the year shit, where I'm never going to fucking ride it. You know what I mean? I'm going to build a 12-inch. I'm going to build a fucking 12-inch little Tiger and hang the motherfucker on my wall like art. You know what I mean? I'm going to make it so I physically can't ride it. You know what I mean? Because if I can, I'm going to be monkey biting that little motherfucker around the house. I know I will.
It drives me crazy when like Instagram or Facebook does that then and now of full on show worthy
Yeah,
lowriders, and you
yeah,
see them just sitting in a desert dry area in the
yeah,
backyard just
yeah.
getting
Rotting away.
tore up,
Yeah,
and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like it
yeah,
was so nice at one point, and I know some major lowriders, they'll revamp the look of their car every 3 years to become lowrider of the year again or
you had
something.
to. Yeah, you had to do that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
And why did this get so much love at one point and then just get tossed away? Why didn't they
yeah,
sell it? Why didn't they rebuild it? Why didn't they do something with it to keep it alive?
yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. You see a lot of them. You see them in like junkyards and shit, like pictures
Yeah,
of them
right.
in the junkyard. And it's
I
like, what
mean,
the
one of the
fuck?
most famous ones I think was a recent, even on YouTube, this YouTuber car builder bought, I think it was the Pontiac Fiero gold lowrider, like
Yeah,
yellow
yeah,
and gold. And he
yeah,
completely rebuilt it and restored it, but he paid like $2,000 for it.
yeah,
It was so cheap and it was all there. It just needed to be completely updated and
yeah.
redone.
Yeah. No, that shit's
I
dope
mean,
when people can save them, when people rescue them.
yeah, there was another one. Somebody just like maybe last year or the beginning, probably the beginning of last year, somebody bought like one of the 90s Astro vans that
Yeah,
was a lowrider and they redid that whole thing. Or maybe no, you know what?
that's
It
dope.
wasn't a lowrider one. It was a Pimp My Ride Astro van. He completely restored it to the way they did it because it was sitting in a
Gotcha.
junkyard rotting to death.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
I
it's
mean,
what's
that's a
funny.
waste of time, but it's still cool to have like a nostalgia, like see the pinnacle of West Coast Customs and their junk they made. Well, I just
Yeah.
restored it.
No, what's hilarious is me and my mentor. It was a like we, because I mean we worked in the same shop for 15 years together. You know what I mean? Like just me and him all day, pretty much every day. And so we have very similar sense of humor. You know,
I would hope.
yeah, and we'd be watching fucking TV, and we love to watch like the Pimp My Ride stuff because the one dude who did their upholstery,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
What
that guy
is
talking,
that
and
Mexican guy?
he was like, because we used to die laughing because we were just like, are those wrinkled? Like, are you just gonna leave those wrinkles? Like, this looks like shit. Like we would critique the fuck out of it. We were
Right,
horrible.
right.
Like we were such dicks. We were like, how do you let that out of your shop? Like that's garbage. But
When
one of
they
the
were going to teenagers that didn't know any better.
yeah,
That's the
but
only way
yeah,
they could get away with it.
but one of the things is that upholstery guy. They were doing like a little segment on him, like asking him like Q&A shit or whatever, and like how'd you get into it and blah blah blah. And he was like, "Oh, I always like to work on cars or whatever." And he goes, and then I would see the mechanics and the bodywork guys. They would just get really dirty and filthy, you know, from working on cars. He goes, "I wanted to work on cars, but I wanted to work on the clean part." And we fucking and we died laughing when he said that because I don't know if you've ever taken apart a car that is 5 years and older or new
Right.
and owned by a slob. Like, you know what I mean?
There's
Like you
dirt
take
and
apart like
crap all underneath
yeah,
that interior.
I was doing an interior on a God, what was it? A Chieftain, a like a 50 or a 49 Chieftain,
Oh,
and
nice.
I was doing that. Like one of the things I was doing was a headliner, and I was tearing down the old headliner, and it was like poof, like right in my
Yeah,
face. It was
right.
a dead rat, like, but it was like just like skeletal remains, like plop just hits me in the face, and like oh, and I'm just covered in like old ass like dead rat, like I'm
So the
just like
only thing I can think that he was able to get away with is maybe they had the demo team rip all that out before he got to
yeah.
it and he had a clean slate, maybe.
Well, I mean, even to sit there and say like, oh, well, you know, it's the clean job. It's not the fucking clean job. A lot of it's fucking gross. Like when you start
Yeah,
getting
no,
into
it
like
is.
nasty people's cars, or like people bought
Right.
an old car and somebody has been some fucking disgusting motherfucker has owned that thing since like the fucking late 50s, and they
Yeah.
just basically shit themselves while driving it, and just oh, it's
Dude,
horrendous. Like
anybody that had an old car that lifted up the carpet or had a ripped seat that they had to, replace with tape or a seat cover or something, they know
yeah,
what's in that interior and it's gross.
yeah,
The old stuff that is.
yeah. No, you find a lot of dead animals, you know,
Oh, I'm
mice,
sure.
rats, that kind of shit. Oddly enough, yeah, you find them in there quite a bit. Odd.
Yeah, I'm more than sure. Because
Yeah.
for one, the car's closed up unless you left the doors open in the backyard its whole life. And
Yeah.
so they're going to crawl into something that has shelter and warmth.
Yeah.
That's a lot warmer than being outside.
Yeah, sure.
So that's your real life job and security.
Yeah.
What about these model cars? How long have you been building? When did you get into it?
Well, I've always kind of been into it, but like like when I was a kid, like I think one of the first things I built was like a fucking lunar lander or some shit, like NASA type fucking thing. You know what I mean? And then I built like God, what did I build? As a kid, I remember building a 57 Chevy, but just all stock, like out of the box, because I didn't know anything because I was a kid,
Right.
like little
Yeah.
kid. And I didn't even know that they made like model car magazines or like fuck anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't think anyone gave a shit about them. You know what I mean? So I would just try to build that or whatever, like little shit like that. And then I'd put them down, life would get in the way. I'd put them down for a bit and then pick them back up when things got slow or whatever, or I needed a distraction, started getting back into it real heavy, probably around 2000, early 2000s. Started getting it. No, let me think. Yeah, I guess it was probably late 90s, early 2000s, and then like started getting into it big time. And well, because I was building the lowrider bikes and shit too, and so the
Right.
lowrider bike magazine, the other half of it was lowrider
Yeah.
models. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I started getting into it big time, like around that, when lowrider bike first started coming out, and I'd seen them at shows and stuff, seen the models, but I just never really was at that level, so I never really fucked with it. You know what I mean? But then I still had like all my weird little experiments and shit that I'd saved of shit that I would try to do, and then got into, I'd always been into lowriders and whatnot, so naturally I just started building lowriders. I remember like one of the first ones that I did was that 39 panel wagon, the 39 Chevy, and I did it was Star Wars themed because I'm ridiculously retarded about Star Wars, and so always have been. And so there was so on the hood I did a hand painted mural of the Death Star, the second Death Star, with like the little forest moon. Yeah. Like, or the forest moon. It was like the forest moon was real big, and then there was like a little Death Star like orbiting it. Like,
and you put that on the model.
On the hood.
You muraled that?
Yeah, on the hood.
That's crazy.
I saved the hood for years. I don't know what happened to it. I think eventually like it just got fucked up, or I probably still have it buried. I got like so much shit that I've just had over the years that I'm like a hoarder like that. I'd have to dig through.
Dude, we all are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have all the models I used to have because we had moved and whatnot and things get lost. But I mean, just models in general, there's so much crap I have in all different scales, in the Hot Wheels and then the 187 scale and then the 125th scale. It's so stupid that I have all this stuff that I really don't plan on doing anything with. It's just a collection of crap.
Yeah.
And no, I don't go to swap meets, like model car swap meets, to sell anything. You just end up going and you keep buying more crap.
No, for real. For real, no. Like just when we went to that show with Dig and everyone, when we did the podcast, when we got back from that one. Yeah, I was walking through and like I was trying not to spend, because I mean I've slowed down so much because work has been like overwhelming lately. So like the last couple of years at least. So it's like, fuck, I don't have it's like when I get the time, I don't really have the motivation. When I have the motivation, I don't have the time. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
but I was walking through and I was like, I'm not going to get nothing. But then Chester's bitch ass was like, hey, he's like, yeah, there's a Honda Accord. Cause I was thinking, fuck, I want to do a Honda Accord, like 90s Euro style, cause I'm already building like a fucking Civic like that. And,
right.
So I was like, fuck, and I'm like, if they got an Accord, then I'll check out the Accord. And as I'm walking by, I look over, and again, a fucking Star Wars retard. I fucking look over and I see like the pod racer, like Anakin's pod racer.
Yeah.
And then like I see that, and he wanted it was the sticker on there was 25. And then like I seen the Rebel base, which is like this fucking big, huge like base, like a platform of styrene and shit, like part of a building. And like a big ass Millennium Falcon. Well, I mean, big ass, a Millennium Falcon, and like their big transport ship and shit with like in little X-wings and stuff. And so it's
Wow.
like a little scene. They wanted 30 for that. And so when I'm like, look,
That's not bad.
I'm not supposed to be buying anything. So in my head, this is what I'm thinking. I'm not supposed to be buying anything. So I'm going to throw out a number so ridiculous to this guy that he's going to laugh at me and laugh me away, And so he's like, yeah, you do a deal. He goes, yeah. And I said, how about 20 for both? And he goes, 30. How about 30? I was like, fuck. Yes.
Right.
Okay. God damn it.
Right.
I mean, but I
Dude,
basically got one for free. So
yeah, I've been lucky enough, and it's not even my luck, it's more my daughter's luck. I took my daughter to an NNL in our state 3 years ago,
okay.
2019. And she's walking around the swap meet section and she sees this Revell level 5 kit. It's a hippie van. And it's a much bigger box than any other Revell I've ever bought. And I've only ever built a level 3, like that 59 Impala or the 60 Impala or whatever.
Yeah.
So she sees this level 5, bus. And I'm thinking, I've never built a level 5. This is what you want to build for your first build? She goes, I love the flowers. I love the look of it. I'm like, let me see what kind of deal I can make on this. But we get the car or the van and I help her build it. I do all the spray painting, but and half of the gluing, she did the other half. And she put it all together, and she's a junior at that time. So she's winning all these awards, but not alone with awards. The people there at the show like it so much that she's a girl and she's a young girl. They're just handing her their raffle tickets that they don't care about anymore. And then when the table was like done and they're out of raffle tickets and they're got leftover crap, they're just saying, do you want it? Do you want it? And she's like, yeah, give it to me. In the last 2 years, we've probably walked away with 40 kits, brand new, sealed.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
I don't have no clue when she's ever going to get to them. I don't know if she'll ever get to them. And honestly, they're none of the crap I really care to build. They're just crap that, we're accumulating.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why.
It fucking happens, man. I'm telling you, like it does. It's building up. You're like, God damn it. I'm never going to get
good thing. Yeah, the only good thing is I don't have to take money to get stuff to bring home.
Yeah.
Like I
really,
pay
all
for
I
the
need at this
entry
point
fees.
is like I just need to re-up on like little shit like paints and shit like that. But
bare metal foil.
Else, the kits and all that. Yeah. No, and I got like bags of like all the photo etch from Dig.
Nice.
All his stuff, like because like there's that, and then like even before when he was messing around with like casting and even like his first like 3D print stuff. I think I have like I got like a Haro GT fucking BMX bike from him, like a 3D.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
And like the little spray paint cans with the fucking labels, the skateboards and all that shit. Like, yeah.
And you're thinking, what am I going to do with this stuff? When am I ever going to do anything with it? I have it, but when am I going to use it?
What are you drinking?
You don't want to know.
What is it?
This is what I like. I can't stand the taste of real beer. It's the yeast, the hops, and the barley. That is shit. All of it. It's crap. Why put that in a beer? I don't understand it. Why do you have to get used to drinking something in order to like it? Why can't it just taste good straight out of the bottle?
Yeah.
So I don't drink regular beer.
Gotcha. Yeah, see, all that stuff always tasted good to me right from the bat.
See, it's because you don't have any taste buds, but it's all good. Your upholstery skills and your model skills make up for it.
Well, I mean, I guess it saves money on shopping at your house, and you and your wife drink the same shit.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. You're exactly
You don't
right.
have to get separate shit.
And is it fruity? Yes. This is a cherry flavored. I don't care. Who doesn't like cherry Coke and cherry Pepsi? It's the same thing.
I've had one. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've never had one. They're sweet. That's the thing though. Like if I were to drink stuff like that, it would be like one a night. Like if I have anything.
Well, yeah, that's all I drink, and I don't even drink like. I've opened this at 5 o'clock and it's still at the top.
Yeah.
It'll be open for the next few days at my next to my bed.
Yeah. No,
And as long as it's got a lid,
yeah,
it still
tastes like
holds.
lemonade.
Yeah,
It tastes like lemonade. So fuck. I mean,
that's
it's not
exactly
bad.
it.
Yeah.
Right, and you can down it warm or cold, and
Yeah.
be good
Yeah.
if you downed it. But
It's still okay first thing in the morning when you wake up and realize half the bottle's sitting on your nightstand.
literally, right, it literally is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna waste this.
It's funny. I'm on the Lay It Low page. I looked up your profile.
Probably most of the pictures are gone because of
They
fucking
are gone.
photo bucket. Everybody's
Yeah,
is. Like everybody's
right.
is, yeah.
I mean, I keep getting the email every other day from Photo Bucket saying I'm going to lose all my pictures. I said I can't log into it. I don't know
I
the
can still
email.
get into mine. I can still get
Oh
into
well,
mine.
as long as
But
I can't get into mine.
But they deleted all my pictures and shit off of there though.
Oh yeah,
Like it's
because
all
I'm
like
on
the
like
photo bucket, like it's gone or something. Like they couldn't get it, or I don't know what the deal
right.
was.
I'm on the 7th page and there's like no photos anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it probably wouldn't
That
be for a
sucks.
while. Yeah, that was back in 2009. I joined in like 2009 on Lay Low, but you know, I sat there
That
for a
could be
while
when
too,
I
just
joined.
watching, like without posting nothing. I sat and lurked for a while before I started posting.
Oh, I posted it right away. You're slow, buddy. You need to get on the ball with that.
I didn't know what this shit was about really. I'm just sitting back watching the drama and listening to fucking motherfuckers get mad at fucking off-topic people and
I think Lorenzo once again probably told me about this page, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna check it out," and then I was off and running.
which
I
one,
posted
Layla?
like, yeah, I don't know if it was him that told me about it. Maybe that's where I met him. I don't know how I found out about this page or this website, but
Where
it
is he
was the
at?
go-to website.
Where is he at? Is he like in Arizona or something?
Yeah, he's in, I think, Flagstaff or Phoenix or something.
Gotcha.
Here's what's crazy. All my pictures are on here, but they have a big, huge watermark of Photo Bucket on top of the photos. Like
Weird.
they're really making sure that, hey, this is owned by us now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yet I
Yeah,
can't
well,
log into
shit,
my Photo Bucket to save my life.
maybe I'll
I don't know the
jump
email.
back on and see. Like I'll try to jump back onto my Photo Bucket and see, like when I get off the phone, I'll try and look and see what's there.
Dude, that'd be great because I would love to do like a slideshow after this of some of your work, if not all of your work. I don't know how many models you've ever taken a picture of and have in your gallery, but just a few, I could
Yeah,
put in a
no,
slideshow so people can see what you've actually done since I can't find anything on your page.
yeah, no, I'd have to look through. I think I have some on my phone, like a little bit on my phone, but I can go back through the Photo Bucket because that's where a lot of the old stuff is going to be, is in the Photo Bucket.
Right, right.
If I still have access to it. But yeah, I'll dig through there and see if I can get some, and then I'll either send those to you directly or post those up on the club thread on the
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah. That's cool. That'll work.
Let those kids, remind those kids that I fucking used to build models.
Right, right. Yeah, no, it's crazy because I mean, I don't know the email. I think I know the email I was using, but I definitely don't know the password to the email. So I couldn't get into it even if I wanted to. That's the same thing that happened on my original YouTube page. I had the YouTube page Halfass Customs, and I didn't post on it enough to remember it, and I would change the password every so often. And then I think it was the same time I had my Photo Bucket. I was using the same email, and so I forgot the email, and then I obviously forgot the password.
Yeah, yeah.
So now I had to give up that original YouTube channel. And these damn guys from, I think, New York State or Canada created a Halfass Customs car shop, like an actual custom shop. Took my name, didn't bother to ask if that was okay. I mean, I don't have the domain rights to it or nothing, which I should probably try to get, but I don't have it. So, I mean, I guess I couldn't really say you couldn't use it. Yeah. But you would have thought they wouldn't have used it if somebody else was using it for the last 20 years.
Yeah, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it
But
was
that's the
hilarious.
same thing with West Coast Customs, the custom shop, and then West Coast Customs, the car club. Same
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, exactly. It was hilarious when I went to get my business license for the first time, and you go down, and then basically, uh, you know, you if it's if it has your name in it, you don't have to pay. If it doesn't have your name in it, you have to pay like $50 to register a new like a name for a shop. And
Oh,
so I was like, fuck, I don't care. I'm just gonna call Knobens Customs, throw my name in there, you know.
yeah.
And
I mean,
I told them, and they were like, okay, well, do you want to take a day to research? And because if somebody else already has this as their business name, they could sue you for doing that. And
right,
I was like, no, we're good, we're good. And she was like, you sure? And I go, lady, if you ever meet a Knoben in the United States, they're directly related to me.
right,
That's my great grandfather, my great great grandfather, my great great uncle, both moved here from Bruges, from the Netherlands, and when they moved here, like it's their two families that are here. So any Knoben you meet is actually directly related to me. It's you know what I mean. So no, I guarantee none of them have opened a custom shop. Like,
right, right.
I mean, you're talking about like 15 people in total. Like,
Got a pretty small family, don't you?
yeah. Yeah, well, with the last name, you know what I mean? Like I was I was the last of the boys on my father's side, like from my great grandfather's side. And then my great grand uncle, his line, I think they had like two boys that were around my age. So they're probably the name is probably going from them, continuing from them. But before I had my son, I was the last Knoben on my dad's side. It was all like
Wow.
it was all females and shit that wouldn't pass on the name, you know.
Right, right. Because they're
So
weak. They
yeah,
should have told the husband, "You're taking my last name."
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, if they're doing what they should be doing, they're in the kitchen and not worrying about things like names.
Booyah! With that apron on, with nothing underneath it.
Exactly. And everyone just got canceled.
Right. This YouTube channel is now over. See ya.
Exactly. Fucking done. You ruined the goddamn show.
Hey, you know what? It's bound to happen at some point.
Exactly. Doug and his Ron Swanson fucking comments.
Hey, that guy was a great guy. He still is. But yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you a little funny story,
Yeah.
and this would probably definitely not pass today, and I don't know how it passed back then, but I think it was in 2000, no, 98, maybe 97, 98, 99. I went to a model show in Victorville, California.
Okay.
I think it was called the Cactus Classics back then. And I took this box panel truck I won, like this diesel truck moving van almost.
Okay.
And I gave it this cheesy rattle can metal flake paint job, no gloss on it. I didn't know about gloss back then.
Yeah.
But I just got old enough to go into the adult stores. And in the adult stores, they had adult stick-on tattoos, like
Okay.
water tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bought a shit ton of those. I covered the whole box truck full of these cartoon characters that were naked running around, just
Yeah.
everything hanging out and everything. And I entered it in the lowrider class with
Yeah.
all these kids going around with their parents and stuff. And I was for sure they were going to tell whoever the owner is of this truck, get it out of here. It's
Yeah.
definitely
Exactly.
inappropriate. They
Yeah.
never said nothing. Nothing. I
That's
mean,
awesome.
it didn't win nothing, and it didn't get in any. I mean, we didn't even really have the internet back then, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
it didn't make any magazines, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
the adult men probably thought it was funny. That was about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's shit like that. Though. I'm surprised it didn't win, especially if they saw like like some kid bringing it in and like,
Yeah, I mean, that was 99, 97, 98, 99. I wasn't in the junior category no more, but I mean, I was still a
Yeah.
young teenager.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, the problem was back then in the 90s, I was going, there was really no junior category for lowriders, so you were going
Yeah.
against the best of the best.
So there was hardly
And
any category for lowriders in general.
well, I will say, thanks to Lowrider Bike Magazine, came
Yeah.
out in fall of '93. No, it was their winter issue.
Yeah.
That one magazine showed me that you could make a lowrider into a model car, and I dove deep. I went so deep with no skills and no
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
I just fell head over heels, and I said, "This is my shit from now on. I'm never going to build anything else." And I
Yeah.
could never afford to buy any of that accessory stuff, the rims, the
Yeah.
pumps, the batteries, any of that stuff. So my stuff was always whack,
Yeah.
super whack. But it made two magazines. I was in Lowrider Bike
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, with rattle can paint jobs and no skills next to like Ormondo or DA or whatever, all those
Yeah.
other guys that were at the top of the game back then, even Gary Seed back then, I wasn't anywhere close to them, but I got two black and white photos in the magazine, and I was like, what? Why? Who
Yeah.
thought this was good looking? I
Yeah.
mean, it's not even good looking to me. But
but didn't that shit feel good though, being in a magazine? Like,
oh, that was the first time ever I was in a magazine. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
that
I
was
fucking love
awesome.
that. I love that feeling, man. Like, fuck a
Yeah,
trophy. Fuck it, but you get me in a magazine, man. I'm smiling ear to ear, like, cause I enjoy that shit. Because
right.
now it's like, you got my trophy at your house.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah,
if you got the
yeah,
magazine, you
exactly.
got my trophy at your house.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
the magazine will live on forever as long as you keep it, but the trophy, like you can get a
Yeah.
trophy like one of these medals right here, and it just says first or second place. It doesn't tell you what it's for.
Yeah.
So if you don't put on the back of it what you won your car for or whatever, you're gonna forget.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what I won first place for. This might not even be mine. This could be my daughter's.
It's like number one bowler and shit. You're like, I don't even bowl. The fuck?
Right. They should just give Dunder Mifflin medals to everybody.
Oh yeah,
Trophies.
exactly. It's fucking funny.
You just say best boss. There you go. There's your first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
it's weird though, because I think it was 2010, like right at the end of Lay It Low, kind of got burnt out and I jumped into Hot Wheels. And then I got burnt out of that real quick. And then I jumped into these smaller cars.
yeah,
And then it was because of David's David and whoever's magazine, dedicated magazine, they had that build off. You get
yeah,
your car in the magazine. I was like, I wonder if I got the skills now. And boom, man, like all these skills just
yeah,
came together.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna
It
say
seems
I'm
like it'd
good in
be.
any way, but I can
It seems like
manipulate the good.
it seems like basically it would be like picking up an actual basketball after you've been playing with a medicine ball for fucking 2 months. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because when you deal with the little fuckers, now you're dealing
right.
on like a 125th scale. It's got to seem like you got fucking miles of canvas for doing
Oh
whatever. Like,
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I got a 62 Impala or Bel Air wagon from Edgar, Scale Riders, and I just completely customized that whole thing. Put the Tango
yeah,
interior in there,
yeah,
and I put more engine bay accessories in that car than any car I've ever built before that. I mean, the
yeah,
brake lines, the fuel lines, all of
yeah,
it, everything.
yeah,
And I was like, God, there's so much more accessibility with this scale than with these small cars.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I always knew that, but I didn't have the skills or the know-how then that I guess I picked up with these small cars. So
yeah.
now, I mean, I don't think I'm a very good model builder, to be honest with you. I just understood a way to manipulate it to look good.
Yeah, I
Because
got you.
I mean, I told you in the last episode that we were on together, I said, I can build a model in 2 days, literally a day,
Yeah,
2 days,
yeah,
beginning to end with all the details.
yeah,
But I mean, it may not look great, but if as long as you understand how to manipulate what's great and what's decent,
yeah,
decent could look great too if you don't know what you're looking at.
yeah. No, I got you. I got you. And also too, I mean, once you learn to like, I mean, there's a bunch of tricks you could do to like just to trick the eye. to where it looks
Yeah.
like something, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
when I used to do the solenoids, like for the hydraulic systems, you know, I used to make those from scratch, like the little solenoids
Mhm.
and shit. And then I would paint them. When I painted them, I would do like the top of it silver, like the real ones. And then, but
Yeah.
the accurates have it in cursive saying accurate, like at an angle. And so
Uh-huh.
I would take like a one hair brush and just slowly like just do a little, not even, it doesn't even look anything close to like, but
Right.
just a little squiggle. And then, but
Yeah.
from a distance, your eyes, if you know what an accurate looks like, you're like,
Right.
oh
Right.
fuck, that's a. But if you hold a magnifying glass to it, you're like, oh shit, that's
They
just a
don't say
squiggly
nothing.
line. But
Yeah.
without the magnifying glass, it looks like it says accurate. You know.
Right. Which 99% of people don't carry magnifying glass with them when
Yeah.
they go to a model show.
Yeah. And exactly, yeah. And if you're that fucking close to my fucking car anyway, then my problems aren't my model. My problems are you.
Yeah, right. You're way too close, buddy.
Exactly.
I don't need your dirty boogers falling off on
Yeah.
my car.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like I've definitely kind of changed pace. Like I've noticed that I've been changing pace when it comes to models too. Like because back in the day, like I used to pride myself on building scratch built accessories, like for like bombs and shit. So like with that 41 Chevy that I did, I mean, I made everything in there, like the pipe and the pipe holder, the compass that
Oh
hung
my
on the
gosh.
thing,
Yeah, I
the
remember
traffic
that.
finder, the traffic light finder, the Brody knob. I made the steering wheel with the swivel handle inside of the steering wheel that was an accessory back
Jeez,
then. I made the
I
fan.
remember
I made
that
the
too.
red top flashlight that went to the steering column. Even on
I remember
the
that whole build, watching that thing. That thing was amazing.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good, that Green Harvest. Yeah, like even the vent, like the hood vent, like there, I made it so there was the lever underneath under the dash, and you push it, and the vent would lift up just like on a 1-to-1.
Jeez.
But you could never. But after I built it and got it all in there, got the whole thing together, I realized you couldn't even get in there to get that handle. You couldn't even reach it. You couldn't even see it. Like, and so I
Right.
just I would have to lift the vent up so that people could see. But it
Yeah.
was But I cut the vent out and shit, and it made the fucking whole tray thing come up. Yeah. Yeah. And that was
I mean,
the
I'll
one
tell
where you
you.
push on the key and the fucking engine, the motor, the fan would spin. The key
Oh,
was in
you had
the
a little
ignition, and so
solenoid
there
in
was a
there.
switch behind the dash, and so you push the key in, and the fan would spin. And then
Jeez. The
there was like
1/25th scale key.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, really, all it was I took a piece of like metal wire, like just shitty, like galvanized wire,
Hmm.
you know, mildly malleable, but it was the hole that I drilled in the dash where the ignition was, that thing was exactly that size. And then
Oh, okay.
the button was actually mounted on the backside of the dash right there. And then all I did is take pliers and smash one end of the wire and then shaped it so that it looked like the flat part of a key. So that was the only part sticking out, was like the little piece that looked like a key, but it was attached to a rod that was in the plastic that
So when you
pushed it.
poked it, did you give blood every time you turn the engine on?
No, well, I had a little tool to reach in there and do it.
Okay. I thought you
Yeah.
poked it with your finger, thinking you're gonna
No, no,
draw
no.
blood every time because it's so
Yeah,
sharp.
exactly. Yeah. No, I probably would.
That's
But yeah,
awesome,
that
though. I
was fun.
mean, like I said, I remember that build, and I'll tell you what, I always thought, and I'm not trying to blow your head up in any way, but I always thought watching you build all those accessories, that you were at the top. You were one of those guys that
Yeah.
I would
No, I
never
still am.
amount to.
I still am. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
see. Exactly.
What's this was shit? I
I
thought
mean,
you
you're
were.
old.
I thought
This
you
was a
were.
long time ago.
No,
I mean, do you
no.
even build anymore? So yeah,
Yeah,
you used to be
exactly.
that guy.
Exactly. No, I still, I don't do shit. So unless I start throwing some fucking builds out, I don't have nothing to say. So
Hey, but you know what? You have all that stuff to show you were that good, and
eh,
you probably still are.
most of that shit's all busted up now. Like it's that most of builds I did, like for a long while I was doing out in California, there was Family First Car Club. They're like a 1-to-1 car club. Their Sacramento chapter, those guys, they got a hold of me and I started building them replicas for their 1-to-1s.
Did you
So
also
they
do
could
that 67 Chevy?
no,
Were
I
you the
did
guy that built the
a
replica 67?
the 60, yeah, the black 67.
Yeah, with the spoked hubcaps that were
Yeah,
like actual spokes.
yeah, and removable. Like it was,
Oh
yeah,
man, dude, that
yeah.
was an awesome build too.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. No, so that like because they had the standard and the kit. Obviously, back then we didn't have the 4-door with the normal hood,
Right, right.
So I think I tried to modify mine, but I still kept getting ghost lines of the patch that I put in. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And so I think I ended up I either sent mine out because it looked good without paint, but in the paint it would
Yeah, right,
show up.
right.
It looked smooth
Yeah.
like without paint, but whatever reason it would just get darker in that area. Either I sent that hood out to be cast or I got one from somebody who was already doing them. So I got the hood from somebody like that, but I know I took the back seat. I took the back seat out of it, and then I got like putty, like modeling putty,
Hmm.
and I filled in the speaker thing, and then I filled in the back and all that, so it was all solid, and then sent that to a caster so I could have a bench seat for the front. And then when I got the old one back, then I just peeled off all the putty, and I had a good back seat again. You know what I mean? But I just did like the modeling putty, but it came out great. Like the front seat came out titties. Like, and once it was cast, then I scribed in the
Yeah,
line,
right.
because there was a 50-50
Yeah,
back.
right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd scribe it in the line and shit in the back. It came out fucking titties, like, and then I did all the actual trim and stuff like that for it, like the body trim, because it didn't the Super Sport didn't have the side trim.
Right, right.
Yeah, so I had
That
to make all
that's
that.
crazy.
The
That's
bumper guards. Like if they had shit on their car, then I would build the stuff. Like I even did like a little ass fucking Guadalupe for the dash.
oh
Like the
geez.
like the sat inside of the dash. Like you know what I mean?
That's
Like shit like
awesome.
that.
Yeah, no, I
Like
know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah. My first replica that I did was for my aunt because she always talked about how she had a 66 Ford, is it a Fairlane? One of
Could
those
be.
Ford side body. Was it a? I don't know if it was a Fair. I think it was a Fairlane or a 300. It was a fucking Ford 300 or a like it was a Ford 300, I think, or something like that. Anyway, and she used to describe it to me and all this shit. And so one of those days, I fucking made her one, a replica. So in order to make it like a replica, 100 is a replica. Hers had a black vinyl top, so I had to make all the trim, and then I do a vinyl top. I do my vinyl top different than other people. I've never seen anyone do a vinyl top like me, and I don't know why. Like I think my vinyl tops come out fucking titties, but I don't know why. Um, so basically I'll make the trim out of styrene, just either like square, like little tiny square rods or like half flat, you know what I mean? Depending on
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
trim looked like in real life, if it was
Right.
wide and flat or if it was more raised and skinny. So based off that, and then the uh, the two seams that are in the vinyl top
Hmm.
itself. So I'll make that out of styrene. Like I'll get a flat piece, a square,
Right.
like rectangular or whatever, and then I'll shave one side so that it's kind of like this. You know what I mean? I'll
Oh.
shave one side more flat than the other. You know what I
Is
mean?
that
And
the
then you
way a
lay,
normal one is?
yeah, because
A
it's the
nor
seam. And so you think about what a seam is like, you're going to have it like, so you got material here and you got material here. So it's going to be
Right.
like this. So this is going to be your flat edge, and then this part's going to taper down.
Oh, I got you.
You see what
Okay.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I would make those out of styrene, and then I would mask off the rest of the car, leave the top free or whatever. And then if you go to Hobby Lobby or any place like that, Michael's or whatever, go to their art department, and they have it's 3M, a spray adhesive for art, like for like
Hmm.
putting stuff up. It's just a spray adhesive.
Yeah.
So take that shit and hold your model about a fucking foot away from you or a foot and a half away, and then just do like light sprays and just build that texture up with that, because it'll hit it like it's not going to lay a flat thing. It's going to look like almost like how you texture a wall.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
And so to do that, so you just do that to however much texture you want. Then you let that cure, and then you just go in with a flat black, and it's got that texture and shit. Then when you mask it though, make sure to mask on the trim so you don't get any texture on the trim or anything. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so that way when you peel it off all the masking and shit after it's black, then you could just foil your trim and everything like normal. And they
I
come
never did it with 125th scale, but I did it with 164th and 187th. That I just use painter's tape,
Yeah, a
just
lot of people.
straight painter's tape because it's already textured.
Yeah, a lot of people use that in on 124 scale, 125th. The thing that I've seen, I've actually seen this, that over years later it starts peeling up in the corners and shit.
Right. Yeah.
Like it'll start doing that stuff. And to be honest, I mean, I don't know. I do vinyl tops like 1-to-1. And in my opinion, like my technique, it looks more like an actual vinyl top, like a scale vinyl top. The texture's right, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff.
If you want to be all anal about it.
So I use a similar technique too, with I do the phantom tops from like the 90s.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the way I do that is like kind of like similar to the same thing, I'll still do the trim and all that. Then you add the ribs, but those you'll do them just a straight like half round, like a small half round.
Gotcha.
Real small though, real thin. But just so it's like a little speed bump. And then you put those going back like 2 or 3 of them, like as ribs going across to simulate like the bows of the headliner or of the convertible top.
Right.
So what I do with that is I'll take I'll do like a flat black and then I'll flock it. You know what I mean? I'll use flocking of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Tap off the excess, and then I'll do 1 or 2 more coats of black paint over the flocking so that it locks down and just kind of puts like a coating over it, but it still has that fabric kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But it's if you ever see like whenever I finish that Honda, I'll show pictures of what that top looks like. And I mean, it's pretty much almost done. I just keep having troubles with the fucking hood or the front bumper. I keep having trouble with the front bumper. The front bumper is giving me a bunch of grief, like fitment at first. And then now it's like the paint's been fucked up. And so I'm dipping it and trying to repaint it. Now I'm out of that color paint. I got to fucking.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, no, it's one of those. It's one of those for sure. But yeah.
Hey, man, we all have our problems with some things. I mean, I said in the last episode, I think I said this. I've been doing I stopped doing it. I've got the 65 Impala wagon that I've dipped and repainted 5 times now because I can't get the paint to work right.
Yeah.
And the problem is the wagon has all 4 doors that opened up and hinged. So to dip and take all that crap off 5 times.
Yeah.
I've sprayed it silver as a base coat, and I said, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to touch it for a while. And I don't know when I'll get back to it. I may not get back to it for another 10 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can't get the paint right now, and I don't want to just throw it on the floor and just crack every single panel.
It's better to put shit away. Just put it away, walk away from it, fucking come back,
Right. Because, I mean, that whole car is so fragile as it is. Cutting those doors open with that rear wheel bow and it just being like the rocker panel piece, that's it. Holding the front clip to the rear quarter panels together. Whole car is so fragile as it is. I know I'm going to break it trying to get all that paint off every time.
Yeah, no shit.
But I mean, I only broke it twice and I've been able to refix it, but I don't want to like just throw it because then it'll shatter.
Yeah, exactly. No, because it's a resin, right?
Yeah.
That shit'll fucking shatter, no problem.
Oh yeah, and it's old resin too. It's like original 90s. I think it's an R&R.
Yeah.
5 wagon.
Yeah, I remember that one. I think I have one of those too.
Yeah, which are so much better. Like R&R made so much better castings of Impala wagons than anybody aftermarket making them now.
I agree. They were the shit back then.
Yeah.
They were the shit back then.
Yeah, they were good. I mean that 61 wagon is all decaled up as a R&R too.
Yeah.
Like I think all my wagons are R&R, so I don't know.
So I have
I know
a
what the best.
67 wagon that's warped as all the shit. Like, I don't know how, like,
Damn.
yeah, no, I remember talking to people like back in the day, and they would be like, "Oh, you got to fucking put them in boiling hot water, and then have
Yeah.
like another thing of cold water, and then once you heat it
Right.
up and hold it, like get it to where you want it, and then dip
Yeah.
it, and hold it in place. You got to dip it in cold water and let it set like that." And
Yeah. You
I was
do.
like,
But you got to get it right.
yeah, yeah. No,
Because
I'm
if
just
you
like,
keep
fuck
it in
that.
boiling water too long, then it starts to like really deform. It
Yeah, yeah,
almost turns into putty.
yeah. No, I got a 39 Master Deluxe up there. One of those days I'll end up finishing that, but that one it was the resin, the Master Deluxe version, but no, that one I opened both doors on one side.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah. And that was another thing too, like it used to fucking piss me off when I would see people put the wrong style hinge on a fucking car. You know what I mean? Like I would legit get mad. And I had been like, I really need to control myself. Like I'm just like, fuck these people. Like I would just get
Yeah.
mad. Fucking idiots. Because they did such like I've seen such beautiful fucking builds, like 30s, badass old bombs. And then the
Yeah.
door opens like a fucking, you know what I mean? Like a 65
Right.
Impala. Like you're like, nah, man.
Well,
Like,
that's what drives me crazy about hinging model car doors in general.
yeah,
Most of these hinges are built like a toy. They
yeah.
don't hinge them right. They gotta turn that hinge backwards so that inside of that door goes into the
On
quarter
some
panel.
that yeah, so those were in like the later 70s and through the 80s and 90s and stuff are like that, where they open into
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah.
Even like the 40, like the 47, like the 46, 47, like those opened in, but those
Right.
because they had such a big fucking fender and shit. I think that's
Yeah.
why
Right. Right.
they couldn't swing
Yeah.
those out. But those 39s, those were a barn door
Oh.
hinge.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That was
Right.
just
Yeah.
like a
That's
piano
different.
hinge. That was like a piano
Yeah.
hinge. And so yeah, so I would have to make those. I've done a few how-tos on those, like on Lay Low, and then I think more recently Dig. I did one for Dig for his magazine. So I think
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
so how to do those barn door style hinges like that, you know.
I remember the first time I saw somebody do I think that they call it a butterfly, uh, the
Oh, the
butterfly
hood.
hood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Back in like the mid 90s or something. I think it was on that muraled red bomb, whatever it is.
yeah. Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was the first time I saw a butterfly hood,
Yeah,
a working one. I thought, gee, that's so crazy. I mean, I
yeah,
understood exactly how they did it, but the fact that they did it, I mean, it's one
yeah,
thing to cut open doors, but then to cut open the hood and actually make it a butterfly hood,
yeah.
it's one
No,
thing
that
just to make the hood open like this, but
yeah.
geez.
Yeah. No, see, that's another, I've seen people do it different than me. That's another type of hinge that I do differently than other people too. So the way that I've seen people do it is they will actually like when they cut the hood in half, they actually leave the center trim. They cut the two sides off of the center trim. So there's a center trim piece like a spine. And then
Oh,
on the underside of that, they'll put two separate hinges
yeah,
that
yeah,
moves like
yeah.
this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the way I've always done it, because that if you look at that trim, all that trim is just a round fucking thing. Like all it is like if you were to look at it, it would look like a half round. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right, right, right.
So on the 1-to-1, it looks like that. And so what I always did, and I don't know why I can't be the only one that fucking thought of this, but what I do is I just took like aluminum tube, ran a rod through it, and then made and then I, with the rod going through it, I fucking used like moved it over something. I can't remember what. I think it was like, like a piece of like a wooden dowel or something where I fucking bent the tube with the wire in it. I bent
Mm-hmm.
that at a curve 90 that matched the curve of the hood.
Right, right, yeah.
And then I just cut the hood in half, shaved in, like cut off all that part that was the trim, just got rid of that completely. And then the wire sticking out of the hood or out of that rod, the rod sticking out of the tube, I would leave it long on the ends. and then take a small drill bit, you know, like a pin vise, and then drill down into the grill and then grilled into the body so that the rod would go into those pieces and would keep that thing there. And then the tube itself, I would cut that in sections. You know, I cut like,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
cut it into like thirds, and then I would alternate the glue. Like on one side, I would have glued here and here, and on the other
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
it would be glued here, so that the two
Right.
sides would pivot on that one thing.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Where like, and that's why I think Gavin from the club, he did it the other way with like fucking dual hinges, and I was like, fuck, that just seems like a weird way to do it to me.
No, the way you said it is the only way I thought about ever even thinking about doing that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what you're saying makes 100% sense to me. What they're
Yeah.
doing, I don't understand why they're doing it that way.
Yeah, with the that way.
Is
I
it
mean,
more
when you're,
work?
yeah, when you're looking at it now, you're seeing when the hood is open. Now you're seeing an actual hinge in there.
Yeah, right.
Whereas the other
That's
one
how
is
I
just
always saw
it's
it.
just
Yeah,
pivoting on the fucking rod itself, like the
right. Yeah,
rod. It's, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
That's exactly how I saw it. I always
Yeah.
thought at some point maybe one of the photo etch companies or somebody was going to make a kit for that, where
Yeah.
it's a hinge
Dig
specially
finally
made
did.
for 30s.
Dig finally did. Let me see. Let me sit you down for a second. Let me see if I can find that. And I'll show you what I was doing.
That's interesting. I don't know if I saw that kit if he did make it.
Going and pulling all the old projects. Let me see here. Nope, it's not that. Yeah, it's this. Here it is. Yeah, so this was over time the fucking thing broke, but let me see. Oh, here it is. So I don't know if you could see that, but this is like the door jamb. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you see any of that? So yeah, a lot of people never even added the correct jam on that. You know, that kind of shit always pissed me off too. But there was, let me see. I made hinges for the back that were correct to a 39. Let me see. Here's one of them. I don't know if it'll zoom in on that, if you can see that, but that was the hinge for the
Oh, wow.
back door, you know, for the trunk lid. You know, they were the decorative ones that were like, I don't know if that's even zooming in.
When you bent it, we can tell how it worked.
Yeah, no, it's.
Dude, that's awesome.
So yeah, no, like I said, I would go nuts for like, you know, and then like the wiring and all the plumbing and everything. Like I try to do like all the throttle linkage and shit for the carburetor. I don't know if you can see any of it.
I mean, you kind of need to if you're gonna, you know, go all out.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna do what you did, you might as well go all the way.
So here's an idea of like exactly what I was talking about. See, there's the rod.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes like that, and then you just shut it. But when it's shut, like it matches the curvature of the hood.
Right.
You see, I don't know if that's even popping up, but
no, I could see it.
Yeah,
I would think that everybody else could see it too.
Yeah. So I mean, that way, I mean, you're basically just split. You know, all you did is just split the hood. You know.
I mean, that's how I see it. I mean, that is weird that, you know, a lot of people don't build it that way, because that's exactly how I see it.
Yeah. Oh, well, everyone has their different ways of doing shit. I mean, Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what makes a hobby fun. It's just, I can say that now without getting angry like I used to when people would fuck up hinges. Like now I don't get mad. Now I'm just like, oh, obviously you guys didn't catch my how-to.
Right, right. Well, that's like, I remember, probably, I don't know, 10 years ago, 7 years ago, there's a big gripe about bare metal foil and how people just said it was such a pain. I mean, it does the job. It's great, but people just have the biggest problem putting it on. And I remember, I think it was on Lay It Low, I showed how to do a 64 Impala hood rib right down the center. I said, this is literally how easy it is. And I did it within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just so simple, so quick. It might have been a minute. I said,
Yeah.
this is how easy it is. And then I did the window trim up above on the roof.
Yeah.
And I said, this is how easy it is. It's not as hard as it is. And everybody was using Dr. Cranky's YouTube how-to for those bare metal foil. And I was like, he makes it seem like it's the world's biggest problem. And this thing is the simplest thing to use if you just know how to use it.
Do it? I know the guy.
He does it the same way, but I think the problem is because it's such a thin tinfoil type thing that he's using too much pressure, cutting it, or maybe he's using too much pressure applying it, so it's easily ripping. I didn't watch this whole thing. I just remember listening to his bitching about how extremely hard it was to use. And
I've always enjoyed it.
I never had a problem with it.
Yeah, like doing foil is actually like, that's like nice and calming for me. Like if I'm just sitting there, like I could literally like have everything set up, and then like, but I also like the trick. I mean, one of the earliest things I fucking learned was fresh blade. Have a box of fucking blades. Don't sit there and wait till you're pressing it. Like literally the weight of the knife should just follow, right? And if you didn't cake shit tons of paint on that, you still have the trim details, your fucking knife blade will go right into that. And you just barely have to fucking do anything, and it will follow right around perfect. Like it's,
Check this out. I was talking to this other gentleman. I think he was a 187 scale modeler. Well, he had to have been, because that's who I was talking to in the first season. He was saying that medical supply warehouses or something along the do with medical supplies, their razor blades for their scalpels, they have expiration dates on them. Once they expire, they cannot use them. They will give them to you, and they're perfectly good blades. You can get them for like pennies on the dollar.
They're usually better.
Tons of them.
Yeah, no, they're usually much better product too than the number 11 to buy. Like they'll stay sharper longer.
Right. And so the fact that the fact that they have expiration dates makes no sense. In a hobby sense, like what we need, because they could literally last forever.
Yeah. My wife used to do veterinary surgical tech. And so at some point she brought me like a stack of them, and so I had a bunch, like I still have them in my drawer, but I also too, like I just buy like the kit. I think I bought a kit like off eBay or Amazon or something, and like a pack, and it's like, something stupid, like 500 blades or something. And I think I paid like $25 for it. Like it was like super cheap. I mean, they don't last super long, but with that many, I don't fucking need them to.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. I mean, with every single scribe you do, you can have a new blade for it.
Yeah. No, I mean, in generally, like I'll do like a window with one blade. I'll do another window with another blade. Like, you know what I mean? I'll swap them out like that soon. You know what I mean? Or if I notice that it's starting to drag or it's not cutting, when I go to peel it up and I notice that it didn't cut a place, then I'll fucking swap that blade out and then go back over with a new one. And,
Hey, I got this idea. Let me know what you think about it, being that you're so good at what you do. How about a lowrider donk? Get the donk suspension with little Daytons on it.
Yeah, that's pretty much like how lowriders are now anyway.
I mean, essentially, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you just call it a lowrider donk. We'll make a whole new car culture,
Yeah.
lowrider donks.
Yeah, like the what do they call those? The Carolina squats or whatever, the trucks that
Oh, yeah. That's
like
so
that.
such a stupid thing. Every one of
Yeah.
those people need to be shot and killed.
You know,
I mean, because smacking them in the face or punching them isn't going to do the trick. You gotta literally just.
I always thought the same shit about the swangers when I first moved out here. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this? And then I was like, well, fucking kids that like, I mean, I've been doing lowrider shit ever since I could remember. And like,
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I remember when the fucking spinny wheels came out. Like, what the
Man,
fuck? Like,
those were the shit back then.
God, blades.
then.
Like, do you remember like the three spoke blades? Like,
Oh, how about the 2-spoke blade?
yeah,
That was
just
dumb.
ugly and shit. Like, so all the like things are constantly coming out that like old ass me, I'm like, that's stupid. Kids are stupid. You know what I mean? It's like nobody
Right.
understands fucking anything good. And then I fucking realized, holy shit, I'm the old asshole now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
You become your father.
yeah,
Good job.
yeah. No shit. No shit.
I mean, think about as I said that. I think I said this in the other interview we did. I said every genre has got their people that think what they're doing is stupid because when the 13-inch 100-spoke came out, nobody would have ever thought that was a good look for a full-size Chevy.
Yeah.
That's just stupid to put like a donut-sized tire on your car. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But it's so normal now, well, to lowrider guys that's the go-to. Like, why would you put anything else? Like, you have to have a 13-inch 100-spoke.
Yeah. I remember when those did come out, like when people started doing it, because before that it was like 36 spoke. It was like 36 spoke and and so when Dayton came out, because or 76 was the main one, like that was the most. When 76,
right.
You know, the old classic Daytons were 76 spoke. And then I remember when those 100 spokes came out and people were just like, 100 spokes, this is amazing.
Right.
Like, people love
I
it.
can't even count this high.
Yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous. It's hilarious, but I mean, they look good. And I remember everyone had a boner for them. But I mean, still to this day, I still prefer a 76 spoke if I'm going to have straight lace, you know,
they're
but
classier.
yeah, but I mean, but chances are I'd just prefer having, you know, whatever. Like these boys, check these dogs out. I got these from I got a Honda Accord out there now, and it's just all stock or whatever now. But I got like I picked these up fresh out of the box.
Oh, nice.
Some fucking 13x7s. Yeah, I just
with the tiny spokes.
Yeah,
so you got that big huge center.
Yeah, those things those were, when I got those, they were in the box, stamped 1990s, 1998 or 97, and they'd never been mounted on anything.
That's awesome.
I also got this that's going in it too. The 6-dump or 5-dump manifold.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you what I picked up. It's in my garage. I have to turn the light on. I picked these up while I was out here in North Carolina for $100. They've got some curb damage, but I heard you can. There's companies that actually fix that.
Huh.
But
oh yeah, that's dope.
I don't even have anything to put this on anymore, but I have them, so when I do, they're ready.
You know, I think I have a box with a couple of those knockoffs.
Oh, really? Because these ones are all tore up. I don't know if you can really see it.
I can't. Yeah, I can't promise that mine are going to be any better. They also have the tool. I also have the tool for that.
Oh, I have the tool. Is the tool here? Yeah, the tool's on this tire. I don't know if you can see it.
I got you. I see it. Yeah.
But yeah, these were on a Sebring, and the lady that had it said, "Somebody put these stupid tires on here, and I'm selling them on Craigslist for like $100." I was like, I want them.
Yeah, you got all four?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, those I picked up. Actually, I did some wheeling and dealing. I traded some upholstery work to 3,000 to fucking Andre.
Oh, nice.
I traded some upholstery work. I think he picked them up for like like 450 or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
I had some rims like yours back on my 63 wagon. Somebody gave me them because they said they weren't going to use them no more. And it had some, yeah. And they didn't have the center cap though. So I just had that big, huge opening.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do, Moon Ice had a center cap for their moon caps that were kind of like beveled inside, and then it had the bullet tip. And I was wondering if that center cap would fit inside of that, but I never found out.
Gotcha. Well, the way that these mount, there's that star screw. There's like a star screw that locks the cap on.
Oh, does it screw like that?
No, it doesn't. No. So there's there's an actual, like, I don't know if you can see it. There's like a little star screw.
Oh.
That locks it on. I could turn the knockoff. The knockoff is just bolted onto this. And I can turn the knockoff so one of the fins covers that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I never had that center cap, so I never knew how that worked. And then I never bought those Moon Eye bullet tips, so I never figured out if they would even fit on there. Yeah, but I thought it would be cool, like to get rid of the spinner and put a bullet tip in the center, because that'd be different. No lowrider person's done that yet. I can guarantee it. Yeah.
That would be sick. It probably wouldn't take much modification to get it to work.
Because I know the Moon Eye bullet tip cap, it snaps in like a regular hubcap.
Yeah.
So if there was an inner lip to that ring that could let something snap into it, it would probably work perfect.
Yeah. I wonder if, if it's metal, I wonder if you could put like on the inside ring, like either weld or something, or, just like tack weld on, like those fucking those hella strong earth magnets. Like 2 or 3 of those. Like 4 of those or something that would lock that cap on to where you have to pry it.
Right.
But, I got some magnets that are like this big around that are, they feel like they're crushing your hand if you get them on both sides of your hand. Like it hurts.
Oh, geez.
You're like, ow, it takes a minute to get them off. I was actually using them at one point because I was trying to make a hover car, a model hover car, but one that you could actually just pick up. Like I was trying to build, and that's when I actually fucking learned a lot about magnetism, was trying to figure out, there's like some dude's theory that it's impossible to create a steady magnetic field with static magnets. They have to be moving, or it has to be like a ring of electromagnet that's moving in a sequence to do it, because you can't create a solid solid field, because it will always flip. One will always be doing it. But if it's constantly moving, like so those little ones that they make, that's just like an electromagnet in there, a magnet that's the pulse is basically moving through it, so that it creates a field by constantly moving. The actual magnet field is moving at such rate.
Because they make a 1/24th scale, or maybe it's a 1/32nd scale DeLorean that hovers on top of a platform.
Yeah, they make a bunch of stuff like that.
Probably like this thick.
Yeah, the base.
So I wonder if that's a spinny thing inside of there.
That's well, it doesn't actually spin. So it's like the way that they do the magnet trains, where like it'll be like a section of a section of the track. It hits a current, tap 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 tap, as it goes through, and that's what keeps it moving. Right. It propels it. So it's just a constant flux of that thing doing it. It's the same thing. It's like a ring with like a section ring, and then like with like a electromagnet like every like 1/16 of an inch or something, and then a charge is sent through it. Like they're not all on at once. Like it goes like in a ring. Like the current moves like in a ring, and like on off all the way around, like like ridiculously fast, and that's what creates the steady field. Because if you had 2 on either side, then it's going to push and it's going to go this way or this way. But if you have 2 of them spinning like this, then it's constantly keeping it in a field where it is constantly going to try and drop off if one of those stop. but they're moving so fast that it doesn't have anywhere to drop to repel
Hmm.
to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. It makes sense, but you would think that there would be a different way you could make that work without having electric current go through it. You
Yeah.
would think
So
it
that
should be possible.
you could physically move the magnets. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But
But yeah, but no, like that was the theory, and so far, like it's pretty fucking true that you can't create a steady levitation field from static magnets.
that's interesting.
So
I've never even looked into that,
I
but
did it a different way where I put the magnets where the wheels are, and then I put like
Mhm.
on the board, I made a base for it, and then I put a bunch of those magnets in the base, and then I used so it's like an alleyway, and then there's like like the fucking concrete pillar things that are in like parking lots and shit like that.
Right, yeah.
Those that are next to a wall that are like padded, like nerve things or whatever.
Hmm.
But the car, it hovers, but it rests against those. So it just sits there resting against those things like it's parked. But you could pick up the model and check it out, and then put it back in its parking space in the
Oh,
diorama.
that's cool.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
and then you can touch it, and it sits there doing doing this, whoop, whoop, like it's floating.
Right, right.
Because it's resting against like one side, so it just sits there and floats. Like if you touch it, like
That's actually really cool because for my small scale cars, they make DeLoreans. There's a company that makes it the flying DeLorean. I thought, how cool would that be to like literally just have it hover across the road and it just goes back and forth or something with a tap of your finger.
yeah, yeah, that
But
would be
that car
pretty
is so small, I don't know how you would get a magnet small enough to hide within itself because the car is already damn small enough. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I wonder if you could do it with something like because I was even trying, I was even thinking that okay, maybe it'll help if I use like fishing line and anchor
Right.
it in place
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
just wants to fucking flip because the
Right.
magnets are so fucking strong, it just wants to
Oh
fucking flip.
yeah. Right.
So it's there's a lot of like I kept trying like different things, but then if I put fishing line on every corner, I mean that would do it. But then you can't move, you can't pick the model up if it's actually
Right.
anchored somehow. You can't actually pick it up, and that was all purpose. I wanted to do that, and that's actually when I started messing with like the pink foam. Like I was making the alleyway out of this stuff, like out of the pink foam.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, all I did is just cut a section out, set it back, glued it back in, and then
Right.
add the trim, and then like the concrete. I just took like an actual piece of like concrete block, and then made indentions, you know,
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
scribe out the brick. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I just
Okay.
eventually I'll paint this shit, and you know. But
Well,
again, add that to the hundreds and hundreds of fucking projects that I start and never finish.
even if I don't have the car moving, if it's just hovering and you can tell that it's hovering, they you know those floating coin and floating cigarette tricks that you can get from a magic store? What they
Yeah,
use to make those float is what do they call it? It's a fine line hair string. What do they call that stuff?
oh,
Horsehair?
it's between
Or
two things, right?
yeah, well, so they'll have it like on their hand here, and they'll have the string wrap around their shoulder or something. And so when they're going like this, they're doing like this, and they can make it move because the string's attached to this finger, and it's
Yeah,
wrapped around your arm so you don't see it. And
yeah,
then they just put the coin in there, and so it's always there.
yeah,
But it's so thin and so fine that you can't see it.
yeah.
Is it beeswax there? I don't know, but I do know they put beeswax on it. Beeswax will like make it transparent so you don't see nothing.
Oh shit. Okay.
But I don't know how strong that is though either. But I guess it's strong enough to hold a coin.
Yeah,
So maybe if you put two or three of them on each corner of something small, it could
yeah,
hold it in a floating position, and it didn't have
yeah,
to. I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's horsehair or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into it because I'm sure they sell just that stupid hair online for, not that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, my original idea was to do it out of like a shoebox, like a small box like that, and just line the whole inside with magnets, thinking that it
Yeah.
would I could just put it in there and it would like be fighting them all,
Right.
at once, and so it would stay like right there.
Did it
But
want to
no,
just fly out?
or do whatever. Yeah, no, it just constantly. So there was a lot of like trial and error before. Like I was like, what, fuck this. So then a buddy of mine, unfortunately, he just passed away not too long ago, but he was my physics buddy. He was a professor at UC Santa Barbara for a while, and then was working in Switzerland or Sweden or whatever with the particle collider and stuff
Oh,
like
wow.
that. Like he was way into stuff, but I asked him, I was like, yo, so I'm having this trouble with these magnets. How are we going to fix this? And that's when he was like, you want to start reading up on this, this, and this. And I was like, okay. And so he told me like what to read up on, and I was just like, oh fuck. After finding I was just like, oh Jesus, yeah, no, this is an uphill battle. I'm fighting physics. Like I'm never
right.
gonna win.
That's wild. Yeah, I always thought about doing that, and so
Yeah.
that's interesting that topic came up because I wasn't thinking about asking you about that because it was just out of my mind altogether, and you brought it up. I'm like, holy crap, I've been wanting to do something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
so that's cool, man.
My phone's getting dark, so I think I got like 5 battery left.
Well, it sounds like it's time to go.
Yeah. Yeah, before it just shuts off. So yeah.
Right. All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. And
I appreciate you having
send
me,
me
man.
those pictures whenever you can. I was gonna upload this tomorrow morning, but if you don't give me those pictures by tonight or tomorrow, I can wait and upload this next week.
Okay.
And then
I'll keep my phone in once I get a little bit of juice, and I'll dig through and see if I can find any. And if I can find them,
you don't have to go dig too far back, but
yeah. I mean, I'll just dig
whatever.
through and see. I'll just dig through and see if I can find any pictures of my work. So
cool. All right, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Doug, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
Of course. You have a good night.
You too, man. I'll talk to you later.
See you.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Doug. Pretty cool guy. I mean, I don't really know what to say. I like the guy. Pretty down to earth guy. Pretty level headed. Knows what he likes. Likes a lot of the same stuff I like, from what I gather. And he works on real cars and does some wild and crazy upholsteries. I mean, that's craziness. I don't look. In fact, I think when I was trying to show you his interior work, I think he was talking and the camera went over to him. So to give you an idea of his work, I mean, look how crazy that is. This is some crazy lowrider style upholstery. And then that's a boat. Boats here, door panels there, full interiors here. I mean, I don't know really what to tell you guys besides it takes a pretty good talent to be able to do this. I mean, I don't have that talent. Nowhere close do I have this talent, but it's cool that people are out there that do. And the same people that have this talent also build models. Even though he doesn't build the tiny scale, he builds 1/25th scale. That's pretty cool. And then he's going to send me pictures. I can really show you just how good this guy is building models. I mean, he said in the interview, he prides himself on making one-off accessories. I mean, if he sends me those photos, oh my goodness. It'll just blow your mind on how amazing his stuff is. So yeah, anyways, so that was Doug, one of my model car club buddies, and an amazing modeler and a really cool guy. So I guess I guess that's it. Don't forget, I'll have his information, his Instagram page, in the description below, and my Patreon will be there too. And I just want to give a shout out at the end of this this interview. A shout out to Mike Pringle. He's in, I think he's in the UK. I'm not trying to say that I need more Patreon people. I apparently have enough. And what I mean by enough, I got Mike Pringle. This is what I was able to get off of his kind donations. Got me a selfie light. And you can see the selfie light. And in the middle of this light, I can put a camera, or yeah, put my phone. And the neat thing, it's got 4 different dimming options. Like, it gets lower, and then it gets different colors. So that's as bright as it'll get, and it gets different colors. Like, that's white light, that's natural light, and then that's yellow light. So I could just have it go like this all through the interview. How weird would that be? But yeah, thanks, Mike. I was able to buy this light to shine on my face, so it makes me look brighter and more visible when I'm doing these interviews. And I'm telling you guys, any donations I get off of the Patreon goes into this podcast. I got these earbuds. That was my first purchase. A year later, second purchase is that selfie light. So, oh yeah, and it comes with this tripod thing. So how cool is that? Let's do. How cool is that? So yeah, anyways. Oh, and it also comes with this little portable light. It's got a little on button right here, and I think I got to put batteries in it. But this little ring lights up. This is like for on the go or something. I don't know. I'm probably never going to use it. Either way, Mike Pringle, you're the man. Appreciate your donation. Thank you very much. And until the next episode, everybody. Oh, hold up. I'm a little slideshow right after I'm done talking. Then the episode will be over. So stay tuned to the next episode. I just built this 1/25th scale Ghostbusters car. Let me show you this Ghostbusters car. I call it To Hell and Back. That's what the name of this is. I built it for a competition. So you see it's black windows, black everything. It's very sinister-y like, to really give that feel. It's been through hell and back. And the neat thing is I got these buttons up here. That light up the whole car. So the next video that gets posted is going to be this car. Oh, let's see if this works. Boom. Who could say no to this? So yeah, the next video is going to be a comprehensive deep dive into this build. Show you what it took to build it. But yeah, anyways, until next video, you guys stay safe. Don't get the COVID. And We'll see you guys later. Bye.